Hello and welcome back to the Mechanic Cooks. Today we're making chicken marsala, golden pan-seared chicken breasts in a rich, creamy mushroom marsala sauce. Please like, subscribe, and check out themechaniccooks.com for more great recipes. A link and the ingredients list are in the description. While we prep the chicken, cook your pasta. When done, dress with olive oil and set aside. I'm using 2 chicken breasts cut into cutlets and lightly pounded to even out the thickness. By doing this, they will cook faster and more evenly. Season both sides with kosher salt and coarse ground black pepper, then dredge them lightly in flour. The flour does a few things. First, it helps create a better crust on the chicken, and second, some of that flour sticks to the pan and later helps the sauce thicken naturally as everything reduces together. Add enough olive oil to coat the bottom of a pan over medium heat. Then add the chicken cutlets. Cook them in batches. Don't overcrowd the pan. Let them sit long enough to develop good color before turning them. Browning is important here because that golden surface creates flavor through the Maillard reaction, and all those brown bits left behind in the pan become part of the sauce later. The Maillard reaction is the chemical process that happens when proteins and sugars on the surface of the food are exposed to high heat. It's what creates the golden brown crust and develops a deeper, savory flavor. Cook them to 165 degrees, then remove and place on a wire rack. Using a rack instead of a plate helps preserve the crust instead of trapping steam underneath the cutlet. Drain any excess oil, and into the same pan goes a tablespoon of ghee or clarified butter. Butter with mushrooms is classic in dishes like this, but I'm using ghee because it gives a deeper buttery flavor and has a higher smoke point, so it won't burn while the mushrooms cook down. Add the sliced mushrooms and sprinkle with salt. The salt helps the mushrooms release their moisture. As they cook, they will release their liquid, but as the cooking continues, that liquid begins to evaporate. Once the moisture cooks away, the mushrooms start concentrating in flavor and taking on more color. This stage is important. A lot of the savory depth in the dish comes from allowing the mushrooms enough time to cook down properly instead of rushing them. Once they're reduced and begin to brown, add the garlic and let it toast for about a minute. You want it to be fragrant but not browned or bitter. I like to make a space in the middle of the pan for that. The garlic cooks better not crowded by the mushrooms, and it's easier to monitor. Now sprinkle with a tablespoon of flour and mix everything together well. The flour mixes with the fat in the pan to create a light roux, which helps give the sauce a richer, thicker texture as the liquids reduce. Next comes the marsala wine. Pour it into the pan and stir everything together. The wine lifts all the flavor from the bottom of the pan while reducing into the mushrooms. Marsala has a slightly sweet, rich flavor that works really well with mushrooms and cream. And as it cooks, the alcohol mellows while the flavor concentrates. As it starts reducing and thickening slightly, add the chicken stock and let the sauce simmer for about 5 minutes. This gives everything time to reduce and blend together. Now add the heavy cream and mix it in well. The sauce should become smooth, glossy, and rich without being overly thick. Return the chicken cutlets to the pan and cover them with the sauce and the mushrooms. Let them simmer in the marsala mushroom sauce for about 5 minutes. This step allows the chicken to absorb some of the flavor from the sauce while still staying tender. After that, remove the chicken again and add the cooked pasta directly into the pan. Tossing it in the sauce instead of simply pouring the sauce over the plain noodles makes a big difference. The pasta absorbs some of that flavor and gets coated more evenly, which gives the final dish a richer texture and a better flavor throughout. You end up with tender chicken, earthy mushrooms, creamy pasta, and that rich marsala sauce tying everything together. It's comforting, rich, and feels like a restaurant-style dish while still being straightforward enough to make at home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.